Hi dears, welcome back to our channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me, Anna, with you here. I wish you a lovely day of today. As you can see, the weather is amazing. It's nice and warm. So we made it to the national park here in Benidorm area to discuss once again all the latest news and update on the situation in Spain. There are not many changes, to be honest with you, and the only thing that we know is that the Ministry of Health will be giving us this evening the new data because we had Three Kings Day, amazing celebration here in Benidorm. By the way, those of you who did not see Benidorm's spectacular Three Kings parade, the video that I've uploaded, the last one, go and check it out because I think it was one of my best footages up until now. Not sure how that happened, but the images are just gorgeous. So go and check it out. And obviously no one worked on this day. We had yesterday's bank holiday, so we did not really receive any kind of data. But we know that the index is growing like by 200 points, more or less, so it should be slightly less than 3,000 per every 100,000 people. The amount of cases is expected to go up until its peak in just a few days, like a couple more days, and then we will reach the peak and we'll start going down slowly. Let's hope that that's going to be the case. Even though the government said that it does not matter what's going to be happening, they will not put any new restrictions. There is not even a single word about some kind of other restrictions except for the certificate, of course, social distancing and masks outside and inside. Apart from that, no new restrictions on the horizon still, which I'm very happy about. I'm happy that the government finally realized that they are just burying our economy inside the ground deeper and deeper each time, and what they need to do is just to leave it pass. That's it. A lot of people are vaccinated, the majority, so nothing bad is actually happening as it is, just a lot of cases, but that's basically it. There's just only one problem right now, which is with trains, and it's with the health centers as well here in Spain. Not sure if it's any other country like this, let me know. I know in US, correct me if I'm wrong, but the news that they were giving is that in US, a lot of flights were canceled already like 2 weeks ago because pilots and employees that work there were getting positive test results and needed to cancel a lot of flights, and they just don't have enough of staff to work for them. So here it's not as bad, but still quite a few trains were affected. So there was basically no one to lead the train, from one destination to the other, because all the people who work there were also tested positive. And the worst thing is that a lot of doctors, nurses, and people who work in the health centers are also getting positive results, which means that they need to quarantine. They cannot work on public, And this brings basically that people cannot get bajas, which is like medical, like when you stop working, when you're ill. So basically, you need to go to a doctor if they give you specific papers, so then you are on baja. So people cannot even obtain that because there are no doctors. There are a few health centers in Spain that literally had to close down because they don't have any single person, any single doctor that can or might work in there, which is a crazy situation. But I mean, it was something expected to happen. It's something that we thought will be happening eventually. So sad situation, but through all though. And it's actually not the only problem that we have with this. The doctors are not only on baja because they're sick, but also due to depression, due to anxiety and panic attacks because they are exhausted once again. And they just cannot work like this. They cannot attend people like this. So they are on baja and don't work, which is why in Madrid, even the government has decided to contract people without any kind of medical diploma, without any kind of certificate that they are doctors or nurses, just some people who are going through the studies right now or who used to work and are retired, or for example, people who can help at least to do like administrative work or help for elderly people to organize everything. They are contracting people like this without no kind of studies, like previous studies even, just to help to deal with all this situation because there's a lot of cases. Even though in our region it's quite stable, the health centers that I've been seeing in Benidorm, in Alicante, here in Albir, in Alfaz del Pi, I don't see any kind of crowds at all. It's kind of calm and quiet just so far. So let's hope it's going to be continuing that way. No new restrictions, as I've said, and the rest maintains stable. Still, certificates are being asked in a lot of bars and restaurants. They should be asked in all of them in general. It does not matter if on some of them they don't put the paper that certificate is obligatory. But once you go inside and once you sit down on the table, they are asking for it. So just bear that in mind when you will be traveling to our lovely Benidorm. The second news is a very, very good news for a lot of people who live here or who have their second residence here. As you know, some of you do have in our lovely area. And it's for the people who have fixed price contracts, who have a specific type of contract with the electricity companies. You know that a lot of countries in the world in general, a lot of countries are battling right now with electricity costs. Here in Spain, we were reaching almost 400 euros megawatt per hour, but right now we've had more or less like 210 euros. So what it means basically that the person who has a fixed price contract from this year, they were ending, and that person was living in a situation when the price did rise just from one day to the other several times, multiple times. And the good news is that these companies, all of the companies of electricity, they've decided to renew these type of contracts for 2 more years, which is amazing. It means that prices will not go high as crazy for all these contracts. You know, people that have specific, like let's say, weekend contract when it's cheaper on the weekend to use electric devices. Some people have in general fixed price contracts. Some people have like specific hours of lower price contracted. So all these people will not be affected so much by the price rise, which is generating some queues in the electricity companies. People are going there, they're calling, consulting, and just trying to get these fixed price contracts while they still can, while the price is of 210 and did not rise up more than that. Experts say that it should be rising up until autumn, more or less this year, and then it should be getting like more or less stable. Let's see what will be happening, but at least the good news is that for 2 more years, the majority of people who live here will be getting normal type of prices, at least less than the actual price of electricity is. And the last news that I wanted to share with you all is the strange situation that Benidorm is living right now. You know that a lot of the hotels were closing down, as we've seen in a lot of my videos from different zones, different areas of Benidorm. A lot of the hotels decided to close down because people from UK were not coming, obviously due to restrictions. A lot of people from other international countries and of European countries were not coming either, were canceling their holidays due to the difficult situation, and especially because they are getting the restrictions once they come back home. Not to come here to Spain, that's not a problem. The problem would be to come back to their native country. And a lot of the hotels, a lot of bars and businesses were closing down, sadly. Some of them just for a while, some of them forever. But right now, there is a strange situation that even though the profit that they were receiving decreased by 60%, which is a lot, trust me, but since UK residents will be able to travel easier right now, because correct me if I'm wrong, there is a cancellation of the PCR test once you come back. So it's like a lot easier to get back to UK from Spain because you will not need to do the PCR and you do not have to quarantine yourself. At least it's what Spanish news say, okay? And you could only do like the fast testing on the second day when you come back, and that's basically it. So all these news, they are just flying around here in Benidorm and in Spain, and this is generating the stop of cancellations. So the cancellations are stopping, they're almost stopped right now, and a lot of people are still getting quite good deals to come to Benidorm, because I found that some of the hotels here in Benidorm and the part hotels have deals from like 29 euros per night. That's just crazy, and this is amazing, especially if you get a cheap flight on Ryanair or Iberia. I'm not sure any other kind of airline like cheap flight company, or you get like a package with Jet2 or TUI UK. This is a very cheap holiday, and the weather, as you can see, is still amazing. So why not to enjoy this time? If you can, if you would love to come. Now it's a lot easier. So hotels just stopped thinking about closing. They stopped everything and they're just watching what will be happening. Maybe even hotels will decide, those who've closed down already, maybe they will decide to reopen, or just at least a week or two earlier than the original time to save up the season. If they will see that the situation is actually getting way better than they thought it will be. So it's a great news for our region. It's a great news for a lot of businesses, for bars, restaurants, hotels, apart hotels, and everyone who live and work in the tourism sphere here in Benidorm. So it's great that this is actually happening. At least people from UK will be able to come with less restrictions. This is basically what's going on today in terms of weather. As you can see, we are on the outside, we're in the national park, the sun is shining a lot, there is amazing blue sky behind us, the other mountains right there. It's just great to be outside. I'm like with a jumper like this, but I could easily be without it, just with this blouse, and it will be still amazing. Even though it's supposed to be like 17 degrees today here in the zone, but it's actually more like 20 on the sunshine. Today in general in Spain, it's going to be very nice and sunny weather almost in all areas, as you can see on this first map. The only thing that we might be expecting is some snow or rain, but more snow than rain, on the north part of Spain and in the mountains on the border with France. Tomorrow the weather will be approximately the same, lovely and amazing, as you can see right here. The temperatures, maximum temperatures, are growing and increasing in a lot of areas. And right now we can actually say that they are normal for these type of days, for this time of the year. And right there in front of us we can see some tiny part of Benidorm. The other part is hiding behind this mountain. Lovely views, isn't it? The temperatures will be on the north parts of Spain between 1 degree and 14 degrees, in the center between 1 and 13, south between 11 and 17, and Mediterranean area between 12 and 17 degrees. In Alicante, it's supposed to be 15, the same as here. Here it should be 17, but I suspect that right now we have 19, 20 degrees more or less, because it's just very warm on the sunshine. In Barcelona, 12, Granada 14, Malaga 16, Sevilla 16, Madrid 11, Murcia 17, Balearic Islands just 13 degrees today, Canarian 20, 21, and Valencia 17 degrees today. Night temperatures at some points will be -9 degrees during nighttime, but during the day, as you can see, lovely weather. These were all the news for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching them. I wish you an amazing and positive day of today and spectacular beginning of a new weekend, the first weekend of officially January. And I'll see you already tomorrow in a new video from our lovely Benidorm town. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!